If you're looking to buy some advanced GG, you could use my code WALLAH for 10% off. Thank you. Hey, what's going on, guys? WALLAH here. In today's video, we're going to be going through the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new weapons that came out that I think are pretty damn good for PvP, and what roles you want to get on them, specifically the god roles for me personally, and what I would recommend for you guys. I don't want to take too much time talking, so without further ado, let's get into the first one. That's going to be the Isluna. This is a Destiny 1 hand cannon classic, came back to Destiny 2. It's not the greatest hand cannon in the game currently, but it is pretty damn easy to obtain, and starting on Thursday, you'll be able to farm this thing, so it'll be worth getting a good roll at the very least, because if you don't have a god roll palindrome for whatever reason, because you don't want to do the nightfall like me, this is a good alternative. Now obviously you want to get some range on this thing. I don't think range is the full story on a hand cannon, but when you can get a range masterwork, you probably should. Besides the range masterwork, we're going to go for the actual roll now. Now, personally, I actually would not have gone with something like Demolitionist, but the reason I'm going for Demolitionist now is because of the grenade nerf. It's a very, very big nerf as of recently. A lot of your abilities take a long time to charge, and every single kill you get with this thing is a 10% decrease on your timer. So this is actually really, really good, especially for the Isluna. You're getting a lot of primary kills. It just makes a lot of sense. If you use a grenade that has a very long time to charge, something like a flux grenade, you get 7 seconds removed every single time you get a kill. 7 seconds. That's pretty good. Like, that's not bad whatsoever. The less discipline you have on your character, the more useful this perk actually becomes, which is awesome. And I'm going to say rangefinder is almost a must-have on this. I know some other people have different opinions, but the reason I say rangefinder is so important is because you don't have any barrel options here, meaning you can't get insane range on this gun whatsoever. You need rangefinder, and I think it's just a no-brainer in my opinion. Besides that, obvious choice, ricochet rounds for more range and more stability, making the gun feel a lot better. And the last thing that's kind of confusing, people don't really know, is the scope options. These are really weird because the max range actually reduces your handling, which is not good in my opinion. 45 handling is never good, and you don't need the max range because if you check here, the more you go, you're not actually losing that much range. If you go with something like Crossfire, you're only losing like 0.2 meters, 0.3. If you go down to hit mark, you're only really losing 0.5, I would say, so it's not crazy. If you really want to spec out on range and not lose too much handling, I would go with hit mark. But if you don't care for handling whatsoever, which is kind of weird, you could go for something like sure shot if you really want to. My personal god roll would probably be hit mark. But if you're really, really feeling crazy, you could go for something like True Sight or even Fast Draw if you don't care for the 1 meter that you're missing out on. But for the sake of this video, let's go with Hit Mark because in my opinion, I think this would probably be the best bet. And this to me would be my God Roll Isluna. Nothing too crazy, but Demolitionist makes up for the lack of range compared to something like the Palindrome. So I do think this is a very, very solid weapon if you have this specific role. If you don't have Demolitionist, just use a Fatebringer or something. There's no point. Switching it up, we have the Wastelander. This is a brand new shotgun that feels really damn good. I made a video on this already as well. And the absolute god roll here would be something pretty similar to every other shotgun. So normally I would have gone for a handling masterwork, but since quick charge actually works now and you get a free 25 handling, I'm actually going to say go for a range masterwork on this thing if you're using quick charge. If you're not, you could go for a handling, but I am, so I'm going to do a range masterwork. After that, of course, we are going to go with full choke. This is a lightweight shotgun. You need full choke. It makes it a lot more consistent. Now, this is optional. You could either go for accurized rounds or you could go for assault mag. I'm going to be choosing assault mag because it goes to 90 RPM instead of 80. In my personal opinion, I think that's better. But if you want the range, you could go for accurized. It's good too. They're both very, very good perks and it doesn't really matter what you choose. After this, in my opinion, there's only 2 choices here that are just worth it. Every other perk, in my opinion, is just not worth it. Slide shot, opening shot, that's it. Nothing else. Don't look at any other perks. It's not worth it. They're not as good. These both give you more range and more accuracy. You slide, you get more accuracy, more range, and if you fire your first shot, you get more accuracy, more range. So it just makes sense to use this. Now, I know it only has 69 handling, but if you throw on quick access sling, you get more handling. And like I said, if you use quick charge, it's an arc mod, you get 25 handling. So you're not going to have to really worry about handling whatsoever. You'll be in the 90s. You won't even have to worry about it. And this would be my God Roll Wastelander if I could choose it. Now we have a sniper. I feel like I can't really talk too much about snipers, but it is very, very obvious what you should go for on this thing. And for obvious reasons, it has snapshot and quick draw, which I'm just going to choose right away. You need snapshot. I think you could get away with not having quick draw, but snapshot's one of those things that I absolutely feel like you have to have. If you wanted to go for something even like firmly planted or no distractions, I actually think it would not be a bad choice whatsoever. Since this is my god roll, I will go with quick draw, but no distractions, firmly planted, not too bad of an option. Now for the controller players, I would go for accurized rounds, but for someone like me that's on mouse and keyboard, I would either choose steady rounds or flared magwell. I don't gain anything for aim assist, so there's no point. But again, for the sake of the video, we'll go with accurized rounds here. For this, I do want to go with fluted barrel, and some people are going to be saying that you don't scope in faster when you have snapshot, but that's not true whatsoever. When you have snapshot and you have super high handling, they both stack together and you ADS even faster. If you have something like 43 handling with snapshot, it'll still scope in pretty damn nicely, but when you crank the handling up, it scopes in even quicker. And I'm not lying to you. You can go test this out for yourself. So that's why I'm going for fluted barrel. And then of course I want to go for a handling masterwork on top of that for 70 handling. This thing's going to feel really good. I promise you. And this would be my god roll 1000 yard stare. Moving on to another shotgun. This is a shotgun that I think could be pretty damn good if you got the exact roll I'm going to show you here, but this is not an S tier shotgun whatsoever. It's more of a fun shotgun if you get this specific roll. You want to go for a handling masterwork because again, there's no quick draw on this thing and the base handling is pretty damn low, so we're going to have to crank it up as much as we can. Now, usually I would go for barrel shroud, but everyone tells me that precision frame shotguns need to have full choke. So I will listen to you on full choke for this one, and the only reason I'm listening to you guys for this is because the fact that quick charge is working. I know I just said it for the last shotgun, but quick charge gives you 25 handling. So it's not a big deal that I'm not using barrel shroud here. We can go for full choke. Now, typically I would go for assault mag, but I know some people, again, are saying that range is pretty important on this thing. So you could go for accurized if you wanted to, or assault mag. They're both really good choices. That's for every single shotgun. For the sake of this video, I will go for accurized instead of assault mag since I already did assault mag on the last one. Now, this is a little different. I don't know what I would choose in this column. A lot of people would choose threat detector because whenever someone gets close to you, you get a lot more handling. And I know some other people would kind of choose perpetual motion or even maybe pulse monitor is not too bad now. I don't really care for this perk column. I could go with threat detector or perpetual motion. We'll go with threat detector because I know a lot of people would probably choose that. And then again, opening shot, don't look at any other perks here. Opening shot makes your shotgun a lot more consistent. So we will go with opening shot for this one. And this would be my god roll matador. You could slap on quick access sling to make it even quicker. Next, we have the coolest gun in the game, the battle rifle. This, I don't really have too much knowledge on what the absolute god roll is for this one because there's a lot of people that have different opinions on what perks are better, but this is my opinion and I'll show you guys. Starting with this perk here, I could either go with blunt execution rounds or rangefinder. If I got one of these two, I would not be sad whatsoever. But remember, when you have rangefinder, you're getting 4 more meters of range. You can see it increase and decrease when I remove it. So just think about that. When you don't have rangefinder, you're missing out on around 4 to 5 meters of range. If I'm using this gun with a shotgun, then I'm going to be using rangefinder. If I'm not using a shotgun, I'll be using this with blunt execution rounds, so that way I get a lot more damage. But I will be using rangefinder for this role. Next, demolitionist, because I already explained it on the last weapon with Isluna, that it's just really damn good, and nothing here is really that crazy in my opinion. This is the only gun that has accurized rounds and ricochet on the same column, which I find very, very strange to me. We're going to go with accurized rounds because we're getting basically a full more meter of range with accurized. Even though the stability is nice from ricochet rounds, we're going to be choosing accurized instead. And then lastly, we're going to be doing arrowhead break. And the reason for that is because I get 100 recoil direction. If I do something like full bore, I do get almost 2 meters of, or even more than 2 meters of range, but it's not really worth the decrease in handling and stability in my opinion. Instead, you keep the handling and stability with 100% recoil, and you're only really losing 2 meters. It's not that big of a deal. And of course, we're going to be doing a ranged masterwork here to just crank it up to the max 46.14, and it's not bad whatsoever. This is really, really nice. You'll have your grenade up a lot, and it'll just be a really good primary. Thank you guys so much for watching. I feel like I just talked so much right there, but I know some of you guys enjoy these types of videos. Whenever new guns come out, it's always nice talking about what the best rolls are, and these are just my opinion. Again, some people might like other perks, and that's okay. You can switch it up. You don't have to take this at all if you don't like it. Just, this is my opinion. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Later. If you want to check out my Twitch channel, it'll be in the description down below. Thank you. If you want to join my Discord server, the link will be down below, and I always let people know when a new video goes up. Thank you.